Joining me now is author and political commentator Shamika Michelle.
When God looked at man, he said it's not good for man to be alone. He gave him a woman. He didn't give him a village. He didn't give him the community. He said, be fruitful and multiply to this man and this woman. So it's supposed to be God, husband, wife.
If you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always done.
I'm sorry, y'all. Shamika Jr. just tripped over something as I was trying to get her to do something for me. As soon as I came on the screen, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Shaking My Head with Shamika Michelle. I am your host, Shamika Michelle. And look, this is the ghetto. I mean, that's how I feel every time something goes wrong. But at least the intro played today. Thank you, head shakers, for joining me for this topic. This is something that we've discussed kind of, sort of before. Just the whole idea that women feel like they are strong, they are independent, they don't need a man. Well, today I want to talk about being strong enough to be abandoned, because that's what we're seeing. Not only that, not only are women being abandoned, I don't think men realize that they are signing up for it. They are signing up, rallying for women to be in charge, for women to be strong, and they think it's a good thing. As I watch men sit around and talk and say, it's fine if women are leaders, and I had no issue with Kamala Harris or any other woman being in charge, or even in my household, I just move out the way and let my wife run the show and let my wife take care of the household. And I'm for that. I'm so confident in my manhood that I see nothing wrong with the woman being in charge. I see so many men say that, but I think it's an irresponsible take to have. I think that somebody needs to tell women, you don't want to be strong enough to be abandoned. And men need to understand it's just an irresponsible take. And guess what, women? You can be abandoned with that mindset, even if he stays in the house. If you feel like I am so strong, I am so independent, I can do this on my own, I'm the one who should be in charge, you can be abandoned even when he stays. Somewhere along the way, we thought we were celebrating women. We thought that this was empowering women, but that's not what it is. My daughter's now laughing at me. This is the ghetto. Empowering women, but it's not. It sounds like admiration, but it's not. When you hear a man describe the type of woman that he wants, typically, or many times, more often than not, we hear a man saying that he wants a woman who is strong, independent, hardworking, able to hold it down. That's not admiration if you really think about it. That doesn't sound like a woman who is being protected. That sounds like a woman who is being relied on. You want a woman you can rely on, opposed to actually standing in your masculinity and taking on the role and the purpose that God has created you for. So even if you stick around, sometimes men abandon responsibility, expecting women to just carry it all, shoulder the burden. And so today I want to talk about women being strong enough to be abandoned, and how we mistook mistook that abandonment for progress. I want to share with you all just a little snippet of a video that I was watching yesterday, a male roundtable. And there were certain parts that I thought to myself, okay, this is good. Men sitting around, they're talking with each other, they're having this conversation. And then there were other parts that I said, I don't know if they understand they are willingly abandoning the women in their lives, even if they stay, by just thinking a woman is supposed to shoulder all of this responsibility. She's supposed to be able to carry the household. She can be this great leader. I'm going to get into how this really affects us as women, the biology aspect of it. But first, let me just share this video with you. This is just a snippet. I actually had so many timestamps here that if I had a producer, if it wasn't just me, myself, and I could just go to each one individually, but I'm going to just try and let you know some of the things that they discussed. But it was constant. I was raised by a woman. I saw that women are the closest thing to God. I saw just a lot of female or women in charge worship. They constantly talked about dismantling patriarchy. They said patriarchy isn't good. And this was from they meant it. Their intentions were how to love a Black woman. How do you love a Black woman? How do you trust a Black woman? What is the best way for us to love her? So their intentions were, this is the best way to love a Black woman, to dismantle patriarchy, to patriarchy isn't good. We should let Black women lead. We should trust them enough for them to know what's best for everybody. And I just want to let men know you have a purpose. God designed you the way that He did. He made you the head and not the tail for a reason. And it doesn't matter that women, as they have since the beginning of time, want to be in charge. We weren't designed to be in charge. God didn't build us to be in charge. You don't have to just give up your place of leadership, and you're not helping. You aren't helping. Women, you are being strong enough to be abandoned, and men, even if you stay, you are abandoning your purpose and the reason and the place God set you in to start with. Let's play just a snippet of this video because I like the way that he worded it. I disagree with what he was saying, but I understood the place that he was coming from because I feel like it's the story for a lot of people.
Personally, I grew up with all women, like single parent home, had no grandparents except my grandmother, no grandfather. Both had passed away before I was born. Father wasn't around, and taking care of everybody. So I've always conceded power to women. That's been my nature. I guess my nature and my nurture is because that's all that was there. So for my journey, I was in autobiographies trying to figure out where's a man and who could teach me how to do it. What does it look like? I'm looking to Sammy Davis Jr. and Sidney Poitier and anybody's got autobiography about whatever, Bill Cosby, only to get that dream shattered. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think a lot of men who've grown up in those environments are trying to figure out how to hold themselves accountable while also holding themselves hostage, right? I was trying to take up for my father not being there. I was trying to take up for my grandfather's not being there, overcompensating and not necessarily knowing exactly what my place and my position was. So I think a lot of I can't speak for everybody, but I think a lot of black men just don't know when they say be a man. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And not even what does that mean? That doesn't mean the same thing for this woman. That doesn't mean the same thing for this woman. You know, what is her that, you know, so I think a lot of it is double dutching. It's like, how do I give myself enough grace while also pushing myself and challenging myself to learn and listen and hear. And like I said, like even there's not a single same
perspective.
It's
all different.
It's all different. We're all figuring it out, you know. And I think that.
So I appreciated him saying, like, from what I heard, I don't know. I was raised around all women, so who was going to teach me how to be a man? And he said, just in his nature, which I don't believe it's his nature, because I don't believe God created men to just concede power to women. But he's pretty much saying, this is the way that I was raised. This is all I know. This was how I was nurtured, to just concede to women. And I think that that is the story for a lot of people, especially in Black homes, where we understand that a lot of the fathers don't live inside the home. And so you don't get to see that dynamic between a male and a female. And it's the same for women. Even if mom is there, if mom didn't have a man there, and you got to see that relationship between a male and a female, you don't sometimes know how to be soft. You don't sometimes know how to let somebody else take charge or to lead in the way that men are supposed to. So you grow up feeling like, if you've never seen a man in the house, I don't need a man. I got this. I can do this on my own. I'm strong. But let's talk about how strong got redefined. Strength. The definition for strength, the number one definition, is having the power to move heavy weights or perform other physically demanding tasks. Number two, able to withstand great force or pressure. I can't do either one of those things, right? I am one of these people who say all the time, I don't want you to see me as strong. See me as resilient. I have the ability to bounce back or to take a licking and keep on ticking, but I can't do heavy weights or perform physically demanding tasks, nor do I want to be able to withstand great force and pressure. I just don't feel like God created me that way. But strong has been redefined. Strength used to be looked at as resilience with support. Now it's endurance without relief. And I think that women, we signed up for it. We signed up for it, and so many times we can see right now, women just like to be in charge. We want to be in control. We feel like if whatever you can do, man, I can do better. Mind you, we don't see women in the sewers. We don't see them in the mines. But there's this idea that anything you can do, man, I can do better. Independent became code for, I don't want to ask for help. I don't need help. I got this. Independent became code for, I'm not going to demand provision. I got it. I don't need you for anything. Just sit over there in the corner, man, and be quiet. I got this. Independent came code for not wanting to disrupt what we have been conditioned to think, especially in the Black community, as normal. We've normalized women being out of order. We've normalized both men and women being out of order. It's natural. It's so natural that when we see things running the right way, we look down on it. I can remember being ridiculed for being a stay-at-home mom. Women would say, "No, I couldn't do that. I would have to have my own money. I would have." And listen, there were times that I wanted that. But in hindsight, I'm so glad that I was able to stay at home with my children the majority of the time, because I just feel like they turned out a lot better, or just as good, if not better, than some of the moms who just didn't have time, who were working 8, 10, 12 hours a day. But it was looked down upon because we've normalized the other way. We've normalized women being boss babes, boss bees, in charge, can't tell us what to do, can't turn us around, can't correct us, can't direct us. We've normalized that, and we've normalized men, such as the one in the video saying, "My nature was to concede to women." Again, I don't think it's nature. I think it's nurture. It's the way that he was conditioned to think. I do not think it's the nature that God gave men to just concede to women. I don't think that's the nature, because who benefits when women are required to be strong? Who really benefits? I know there are some women who would say, "Oh, I benefit. I don't have to worry about anybody telling me what to do." I see so many times women posting things such as, I look good, or I feel good because I don't have anyone's mentally ill son bringing me down. Like, that's the mentality that we have, that we're just better off being strong and alone, strong enough to be abandoned. But I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. And I think men have been conditioned to celebrate strong women, not even realizing you are abandoning them in not operating in your masculinity, in not operating in your purpose, in not operating in God's design for men. When we hear a man tell you the traits of his dream woman, many times that dream woman has masculine survival traits. When we hear a man saying he wants a woman who is strong, that's a masculine survival trait. You say you want a woman who is hardworking. Hardworking where? Within the family, or going out here to work 8 and 10 hours a day while your child is in the daycare being indoctrinated with values that aren't yours, with morals and values that don't align with your household and the way that you think. So hardworking where? When you hear a man saying that he wants a woman who is independent, no man is an island, but do you want her to not need you? Why do you want a woman who is independent? What is that about? Men, ask yourselves. Why do I want a woman who is strong, hardworking, independent? Why am I wanting masculine traits from a woman? What is it about me, as you search yourself, that is looking for manly qualities or masculine qualities in my dream woman? Man, why would you want a woman who could hold it down? Is it in the event that something happens to you, you want her to be able to still stand and your family not perish? Do you want her to be able to hold it down in the event, again, something happens to you and you're not able to stand in the position momentarily, like just for a small time, of provider or protector? You need her to be able to navigate things in the family? Or are you saying you want a woman who can hold it down because you don't intend to? You don't want that. Your dream woman is a woman who has masculine survival traits. And I hear a lot of you saying, I want her to be my peace. That's like the new thing, right? Over the last, I don't know, 10 years, we've heard a lot of men saying, I want a woman who's my peace. My peace. I need her to be submissive. I need her to be soft. But are you ready to stand in a position where she can be all of those things, submissive, soft? Because you are being the man and allowing her to be those things. Because many times y'all are saying you want a woman to be your peace while also asking for masculine survival traits. I'm not here to beat you up. Y'all know I'm not here to beat you up. I'm just wanting you to do a check yourself, because I see we are wrecking ourselves. And speaking out of both sides of the neck, you can't have both. You're not going to get peace, soft, feminine, agreeable, submissive when you also want a dream woman with masculine survival traits. You have to choose. You have to be ready and willing to be the man in the relationship in order to get that soft, feminine, submissive, peaceful woman in the relationship. And you have to let go of the idea that you need a woman who is independent, who is hardworking, who is strong. You have to let go of what we have been nurtured into thinking is normal. We normalize this. I asked someone on X today, like in the Asian community or whatever, do you all promote women being in charge, women leading? Do you feel like that is the best way forward? Because that seems to be what we are pushing in Western society, but also particularly in the Black community, that this is the best way to love a Black woman. Just let her take the reins and be in charge. But we're looking for provider traits. Men, you're looking for provider traits when you say strong, independent, hardworking, able to hold it down. You're looking for provider traits. Those are masculine survival traits. They're not feminine. So I want you to know it's not desire. Oh, she has to be hardworking, able to hold it down, strong. That's not desire. That's delegation. You want her to be able to do what you're supposed to be doing, but not doing, unable to do, or refuse to do. That's delegation. And if she has to be everything, you can't ask yourself why we have so many women saying, I don't need a man. I don't want a man. Like, when is the rest going to come in? You can't feel like I'm purposeless when you're willingly giving up your purpose. Again, I have a little bit of empathy because I believe Men and women are being nurtured to think this way. We've normalized it. Like we talked yesterday about how we've normalized some things when it comes to the adult versus child relationship or interaction. We've normalized some things when it comes to male and female. And many times, I don't think we realize it. I want to talk about the science of stress. And I wrote this down because it was so important to me to get it all out here. There is a science behind stress. So when you're looking, men, for this strong, hardworking, independent, she can hold it down type woman, you're going against biology. You're going against biology. If you say, look, don't give me that Bible schmible, I don't want to hear nothing about that. Keep that over there. I don't believe. Let's talk about the biology of it. Women, when you're feeling like I'm strong, I don't need a man. Anything he can do, I can do better. Don't give me that Bible schmible that I was created to help him. He needs to help me. You're going against biology, not just Bible, but also biology. So I want to pause and talk about stress. We're still in that pause mode from yesterday and talk about stress because biology matters. There is a difference between men and women. I don't care what the politicians tell you who want to see men put on a dress and call themselves a woman, or women put on a wife beater and think she is a man. There is a difference in biology. I know I said I wasn't going to go to the Bible schmible for some of you who don't want to hear it, but look, 1 Peter chapter 3 and 7 says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. So the Bible schmible and biology is in agreement here, but let me go on. Research consistently shows that women report significantly higher levels of chronic stress than men, especially when juggling work, finances, family, and emotional labor. Women are also nearly twice as likely to experience anxiety and depression linked to long-term stress exposure. Biologically, stress hits women differently. Listen to what I'm saying. Strong. I don't need a man. Anything he can do, I can do better. It's lies. The lies. The lies. Biologically, stress hits women differently. Hormonal systems can make stress responses last longer, and women are more likely to internalize stress, meaning it stays in the body instead of being discharged. When a man is operating in his purpose, in his masculine, in his manly roles, when he's not trying to be the lady in the relationship, he will usually compartmentalize. He will usually, stress leaves the body. Biologically, women, we internalize stress. It affects us differently. Men, on the other hand, often process stress more externally. Testosterone can blunt some stress responses, and men are more likely to compartmentalize or disengage under pressure. So this idea that women should just handle everything. I got it. I don't need a man. Ignores the fact that chronic stress takes a heavier physical and emotional toll on women over time. You weren't built for it, ladies. You weren't built to be the leaders. You weren't built to be in charge. You weren't built to do this thing on your own. I don't need a man. Biologically, it wasn't meant for you to be in this position. A society that functions by overloading women with stress while applauding their resilience or strength, it's not empowering them. It's not. And I'm not saying that this makes women or this makes a woman a less of a person. I'm telling you, when you have the expectation of I can do it all, or I can do bad by myself. We like to say that. Or you have this thought, men, that I'm just going to concede. That expectation is irresponsible. It's wearing women down. Ladies, it's wearing you down. As much as you want to be in charge, as much as you want to wear the pants, it's wearing you down. You just weren't built for that role. You're being strong enough to be abandoned. And we have normalized this. I want men to understand, even if you're in the home, you can't just concede. Staying is not the same as leading. Your presence does not equal provision. Being there does not equal carrying responsibility. So you may stay physically, but disengage functionally, and you're playing the role of the abandoner. Again, sometimes, guys, we don't even realize what we're doing, because then women have to pick up the slack because somebody got to do it. It got to get done. This isn't partnership, it's quiet abandonment. Nick Fuentes said something when he was interviewing with Tucker Carlson a couple of months ago. Of course, Tucker got in trouble for having Nick Fuentes on his platform. But he said, when he was talking about the fact that he is a virgin, he's unmarried, he's 27, 28, something like that, in his late 20s, he was saying a lot of modern women want men that, like, they don't want to submit. They don't want to listen. They don't want to give men that control. He said a lot of modern women want men to have all the responsibility, but no control in their lives, no say so in their lives. They don't want men to be leaders in their lives. At the same time, we have a lot of men who are seeking control, but don't want responsibility. And it goes both ways. It's the truth in a lot of cases. But you can't want all of this control without having the responsibility. They are married together. Women, you want him to have all of the responsibility, he needs to have a say-so in your life. You can't be expecting this man to shoulder all of the responsibility, but then not be able to get a word in edgewise. Men, you cannot want all of this control while you are conceding power to women. You can't want all of this control while you are looking for her to be hardworking, independent, strong, able to hold it down. It's just not going to work like that. And we've normalized this, but I'm letting you know, women, you're wearing yourselves down, wanting to just be this boss bee. Men, you're checking out. And we've normalized dysfunction. So this isn't an attack. This isn't me saying, oh, women, you're terrible, or men are so bad. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that we have been culturally conditioned and we have normalized strong enough to be abandoned. It's not an attack. I'm saying we have misplaced praise. Thinking that the best way to love a Black woman is to just let her run amok and be in charge. And I know they didn't use the term run amok. But if the Bible says we're the weaker vessel, I don't think that simply always means in strength. Especially nowadays, you got some weak, puny men out here, can't do one push-up. But you are supposed to be logical, reasonable, and less emotional. That's how you all come together and complement one another. When a woman is in her emotions, or when she's tapping into that spirituality or discernment, she can be a great helpmeet to you. Women were made for men, not the other way around. Men, you weren't put here just to serve women. But we've normalized that type of thinking, and we have lowered expectations for men. And y'all have lowered the expectations for yourselves. Oh, I'm just going to concede. I don't want the responsibility of having to provide. I need her to be hardworking. And we have misplaced praise. And it's not just harming women. Women, I'm telling you, it's wearing you down. Men, I'm telling you, it is wearing the women in your life down. But men are harmed too. I see so many men feeling like they don't have purpose. Normalizing this dysfunction has caused a loss of purpose. Where do I fit in? What am I supposed to be doing? I don't have a purpose. So not only do I not have a say, I don't have a voice, I don't feel like I have purpose. This is what happened by normalizing dysfunction. We've reduced leadership expectations in men. I mean, just not feeling like in this video that I was watching, they were literally pretty much saying, oh, a woman should just, I shouldn't have any say on whether she decides to keep my baby or not. You're sowing seeds, men, willingly in gardens where the fruit is going to be snatched up, not respected, not cared for. Like, why? Y'all have willingly, so many men, by abandoning your leadership position, you've willingly placed your balls on the chopping block. I don't need my balls. Here they are. Chop them up like meatballs. Throw them in your spaghetti. You're willingly putting your balls on the chopping block. And women, whether you know it or not, you are absorbing the consequences of that. You're feeling tired. We're having movies such as Waiting to Exhale, because many times we're busybodies and feel like I can do this all on my own. You aren't built to carry that type of stress. Men were made for leadership. Men were designed to lead. They were designed to be leaders. Biologically, stress doesn't affect them the same way it affects women. So, this cultural conditioning that we have taught men to just concede, that we have taught women that I don't need a man, I got this. We're having to all absorb the consequences. And it's looking real ugly. When we look around our communities, it's looking real ugly. Men just abandoning posts. Women so strong enough to be abandoned. We normalize this. It's dysfunction. Whether you go to the Bible that says God looked at man and said it's not good for man to be alone, so he gave him a helpmeet. Whether you take the Bible, the biblical route, or the biological route, we're out of order. We're out of place, and it is showing up in our communities because our children are just walking around lost in the sauce. Listen to how young girls talk nowadays. Cause I'm saying, bro, like I fuck you up, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, just masculine, hard. And I was telling her, bro, like, shoot, when you come over here today, bro, we going to the mall, bro. Men, what do you bring to the table? I mean, what does she bring to the table? Is the table built, sir? I might bring a little silverware and whatever, but the table building is for you. You're the leader. What I bring to the table should accentuate. I shouldn't be building the table. We've willingly just gave up our roles and normalized being out of order. Strength, ladies, should mean exhaustion. And I know Waiting to Exhale is an old movie, but it's a modern day sentiment. You still have women waiting to exhale because we've normalized dysfunction. And you have men, I think, with the best intentions sitting around figuring out the best way to abandon God's design for their lives because of cultural conditioning. And if your culture, what we have now, only works when a woman is overwhelmed, stressed, and carrying everything alone, something is deeply broken. If we're feeling like our culture works best with a woman being stressed and waiting to exhale, something is deeply broken. It's deeply broken, and we're out of order. It's not empowerment pushing this woman to be strong. And people are going to get in my comments, as they have before, when I've talked about there's no such thing as being independent because everybody relies on something, someone, or something. I had women upset because they have the mindset that this is the way it's supposed to be. We've normalized it so much that women actually cheer on their own demise. I just told you the effects stress has on the body and how it differs for men and women. But we've conditioned so well, or been conditioned so well, that women actually get mad when they hear another woman saying, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. A lot of men, instead of feeling strong and empowered, they get mad when someone says, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. You're not just supposed to tuck your tail and roll over and cower and concede power to women. It sounds really sweet for some. It didn't sound sweet for me. It was difficult to listen to. But your intentions to some sound really sweet. But it's not empowering women to be strong. I'm empowering you. No, you're requiring them to. Because you want to abandon post. Or because women just don't want to fall in line. That's the difference. It's listen. It is what it is. I'm not here to beat y'all up. But ladies, stop talking about I have to fire Lil She. I'm gonna just Lil She, you didn't do a good job in sharing this. It's okay. Part of that is my phone, I understand. But it is what it is. We're not built for it, ladies. Men, we aren't built for it. As much as you want to think you're helping by stepping aside, you are hurting her. As much as you think, oh, I got this good, strong, independent, she wear the pants woman, ask yourself why you want a woman with masculine traits. Is there something you need to tell us? Anyway, hi, head shakers. Thank you for being here today. Khalees, Carolyn, Girly Samurai, King Reed, Bodie, Body, Nomad Dad, Miguel, Pete. Thank you all for being here. Hi, Corey. Girly Samurai, you are so good to the head shakers. Stimulated student says that video just showed how weak, soft, pathetic, and confused Black men have become. My homegirl sent me that video and couldn't understand why I was so disgusted. It was a hard watch. I'm telling you. Pew Pew, thank you for being here. It was a hard watch. And it was disgusting to watch. It took me all day to get through it. I had to watch it and come back. Watch it, walk away, and come back. It was a hard watch. Miguel. Okay, I got both your comments here. You bring up to the churchianity people that a woman shouldn't be leading a congregation with men in it. That is terms for an argument. Yes, it is. The amount of female pastors we have around here in charge, running the whole show, it is an argument. It's okay for women to teach other women and children, but not a congregation with men in it. You will get told off. Richard Watson says, please stop the nitpicking. Even the voice irks me. So divisive. Richard Watson, you're a beta male. I'm going to just call it the way that it is. You are signing up to put your balls on the chopping block because you refuse to have the responsibility that God designed you to carry because you want a woman to do it. This isn't divisive. If you think the truth is divisive, when in all actuality, the truth will make you free, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. Regardless of how my voice sounds, that is a you problem. You're a weak, spineless, jellyfish beta male. You picked the wrong live to come in with some BS. Okay. We here at the Head Shakers, we shake our heads at things like that, because whether it hurts, whether it stretches or pulls us, women just weren't designed to lead. And you don't have to just give up your design because it makes her comfortable, or you think it makes her comfortable. I'm telling you, as a man, stand 10 toes down and be who God created you, because direction, not intention, determines destination. So you can intend all day long to be, oh, I'm helping her. You're hurting her. I just broke down the stress for you, Richard. And go take a new profile picture. It look as weak as you sound. I give insults. I'm an equal insulter. It's all equal over here. Miguel says, you damn don't see them on a drilling or workover rig. So true. Sharisa, thank you for being here, sneaking in late. I know you don't feel well. She is reminding everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Right. Yes, thank you. Says Richard Watson, don't listen and go away. Go away. Yes. We don't have time for your foolishness over here. We don't have time. Girly Samurai, thank you so much for the super chat, for the algorithmic beast. Thank you, Shamika, for your courage to speak truthfully. I really appreciate that. 8.58 says it requires a man that is trying to follow God's instructions. We don't want women following drug dealers' instructions. He definitely has to be led by God. Hey, Gabrielle, thank you for being here. Raymond, thank you so much for the super chat. Says just to say I love your show. You are spot on. I really appreciate that, Raymond, so very much. Carolyn says he probably tucks it, talking about the Watson guy. Yeah. You're going to get called the beta over here. You're going to get called the simp. You're going to be weak. It's, we don't play those games. Go elsewhere. If you're looking for woo, it's not here. We want to grow. We want to stretch. We just want to be better people. We want to bring some type of order back. For me, when I talk about the Black community, I want to see some sense of order restored, because I'm old enough to remember when it wasn't this way. I will be back tomorrow, guys. Same place, same time, shaking my head about something else, because they never fail to give me something to shake my head about. I might, if I think long and hard enough, be able to come up with a whole new lesson off of Richard Watson. I don't know. Anyway, Thank y'all for joining me today. See you guys tomorrow. I love you.